We have just published the first video for our run at Bishan-Lower Piers for the Singapore front runners. Let us take a look at the video.
Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. It's your primitive and why yet. It's your primitive and why yet. If you got a big, let me search it to find out how hard I gotta work. Yeah, it's your primitive and why yet. It's your primitive and why yet. If you a fly gal, get your nails done, get a pedicure, get your hair did. Boy, lift it up, let's make a toast stop.
Right. So this video turned out quite a bit different from the previous videos. That's because we use well, professionally designed and built templates and titles. Notice that at the beginning of the video, we use this 3D animated titles. This comes from LenoFX here, right? This 3D title comes from the Absolute Pack. I also use the Instagram templates. This reuse template here, I used it for this section of the video, the warm up. This is the three-way stacking of the videos. Previously, in earlier videos, I had to do this myself, which is a lot of work. Now it's a lot simpler. I'll show you how. Then also this part here with the moving grid, that also came from the LenoFX reuse templates. So why do we use professionally sourced templates and titles this time? It was a busy week. On Saturday, we did the Bishan-Lower Piers run. On Sunday morning, I ran for my marathon training. That was 52K marathon training. Then later today is now Tuesday, I have to go for a recce for the Marsiling Pipeline Trail run for the Singapore front runners. Since my week has been so busy, I thought about using some professional templates and professional titles just to speed things along. And yes, I did buy this my own money, and it turned out pretty good. I didn't use the 3D maps this time because they were too time consuming. I didn't have enough time this week, and I just used the professional titles and templates instead. The other place where I used the professional title was this part here, right? This is a nicely 3D rendered title. What I like about this video, I kind of discovered that it's really a bad idea to put things on the lower third of the video. So I tried to move things as far up as possible. In fact, the lower third of the video is just my arm, my hand. The reason for not showing the lower third is that Instagram Reels tends to put a lot of titles obscuring the bottom half, the bottom third of the video. That's why for this video, I've tried to push things as far as possible to the center, even though it shows some strange things at the bottom. Then we also had a problem of too much sky. Well, that we solved by having these 3D titles. And our 3D titles are extra chunky. They're quite thick. So they could occupy 3Ds. They could occupy the third half of the screen all by themselves. Things that I also like is that the music is nicely synced up. I use the beat detection feature in Final Cut Pro. Everything is all properly aligned to the beats. And in fact, there is a very nice looping wrap around effect. If you let the video play to the end and let Instagram restart the reel, you notice that the transition is seamless. That's because with the beat detection, we ended the video precisely on a beat. And then we also started the video precisely on a beat. That's why the music will loop around when you keep playing it. Let's go into the project and show you how we created this video. Here's the overall timeline for the video. We can see that, yes, the lines are for the beat detection. I imported the music, work it into our project. how did we get Workit? If you if you recall our previous videos, we created Workit from a with this project, right? This is a compound clip. What's inside this clip? We have all the various tracks. These tracks are for vocals and other instrumental tracks that we previously isolated from the Logic Pro software. We imported in all the tracks and we made slight tweaks to the vocals. That's why we see here there's a there's a little ramp here. We've silenced out most of the vocals in the front. Then we just brought in only the chorus. Then towards the end of the chorus, we will fade it out again. That way we start with beat and then we end the beat, and it has a very nice rapping effect. Now the problem with this piece of music is that uh, even though we created it as a Final Cut Pro project, it will not allow us to import it into our project and use beat detection. So I had to export the music as a MP4 file and then imported it into our project and then use the beat detection feature to 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 show the beats. So that's why right now the configuration is music, and I selected beat detection. Once beat detection is selected, you can see all the bars. The dash bars correspond to a beat in the song. One solid line represents 4 musical beats. So this is one musical bar. And the darker vertical lines, they correspond to the sections of the song. This part is the beginning of the chorus. So everything before that is pre-chorus. We have 4 beats of pre-chorus. Then this part is the end of the chorus. And notice that everything matches exactly on a dash line, right? Our video ends exactly at a dash line. So that corresponds to a beat. So our video will end precisely at the end of a beat. Then our video also begins with a beat. Next one, the wrap around is quite okay, but notice that it's not perfect. Our video ends at only 2 beats in a bar instead of the usual 4 beats in a bar. That means we are missing 2 beats, which makes our video shorter. But then it doesn't give you that full, that full sense of resolution if we end it with 4 beats. But that's okay. As long as we end up with on well, as long as we end it on a rounded beat, it will loop seamlessly to the beginning here. Yeah. So let's talk about the video. We have our animated titles here. This is coming from Leno FX. This is called if you browse it here, I selected it from the Leno FX 50 isometric titles. I selected this comes from the Absolute FX pack. I selected the title 7, which is this. Just drag it into here. Creating the title was quite easy. Just drag it into the timeline, and we were able to edit the text here. Yep. So I put in Bishan MRT, selected the text attributes. Then they have a lot of controls here. They allow you to set, the width, the height, and even like the perspective, the vanishing point. Pretty helpful. And I even made it super thick. If you look at okay, I'm trying to find the extrude feature. See this extrude number? This extrude is almost 25. This is the thickness of the title. So I make it extra chunky, extra thick, to take up more space. Yeah. So that was the title. This is just a plain video that I used the reframe feature in Insta360. So notice that if I go into the video animation, we have 2 keyframes. One keyframe here and one keyframe there. So the difference in the keyframes is that we set the panning, right? If you look at the panning here, the initial pan was 73 degrees. Then we panned it all the way right to minus 29 degrees. That's how we achieve this panning effect, right? So Final Cut Pro can produce very good uh, panning of videos with 360-degree content. It's just that we need to do this kind of editing ourselves. Now, of course, we also tweaked the field of view. We increased it so that we could show more people in the shot. Everything becomes compressed horizontally. Right. Then we come to the next part of the video. We have a warm-up. Notice that we have two split screens here. Each one of these represents the three-way stacking of videos. The first split screen has got these three videos. Then later part we have a split screen for different three videos. How do we do this split screen? This split screen comes from the Leno FX templates. We go into the titles here, Leno FX Reels, which means Instagram Reels. We have lots of templates in there. I selected the three-way stacking. Okay, can I find it? It's stack vertical, stack tree. Yeah, there are lots of combinations. So I'm using split screen 3.1. That's what it says here. 3.1 is this. Right, so 3.1, it will stack the videos three-way, like what I did here. How do we configure this title? Well, you just simply drag and drop. So we have the settings in here, right? Initially, these are blank. You see the clips here, drop zone 1, drop zone 2, and 3. These were initially empty. I drag and drop my clips. So I went into my Bishan-Lower peers event. I just simply drag and drop. If I had, so if I wanted this clip, I'll just simply drag and drop into here, here, and here, right? After dragging the clips, I could do the adjustments. The pan will pan horizontal x and along the horizontal axis. The Y will shift it up and down, and I can change the scale. Notice that I increase the scale to above 100%, but less than 200, because 200 will make it a bit pixelated, like this one here, right? So what's missing is that it doesn't really have the full range of reframe features. So I couldn't find the way to do a 360-degree reframing. Yeah, it doesn't have a tilt, it doesn't have the pan features, but it only has X and Y panning, which is probably good enough, right? The other thing that stumped me was that it always uses a clip from the beginning of the video. If you wanted it from the midway of the video, I have to create a compound clip, and I'll show that later in a while, right? So because I couldn't do normally in previous videos, I will do a panning, right? I will do a panning of the warm up from left to right. But since I couldn't do a panning, I just created two split screens. This split screen has got a different set of well, it has got the same three videos, but they pan a different location. So they pan it all the way to the right. That's why we see a different perspective of our warm up runners. Now comes the next part, the grid. Yeah, also if you're wondering why I did this this layout, from the previous video, we said that we're going to synchronize uh, uh, our video with the music. That means that everything has to be precisely aligned to the beats. We see that all the edit points, they are closely matched to the music, so things will transition closely. This one's a bit off, but it's all right. At least it's aligned to the beat, not to the bar. This is aligned. This is aligned to the bar, and this is not quite aligned to the bar, but to the beat, right? Then yeah, so that's how we synchronize things. So we did in the last video, we did a very rudimentary layout. We laid out the videos, we aligned them, but notice that I'm not using the videos anymore. I'm overlaying it with something else, with grid. But that's okay. So we're just using this to become like a placeholder that we will fill in with the actual content in later. Then we realized that the music was kind of long. We didn't have enough content to fill up all 30 seconds of it. Well, I tried to make it symmetric. We had the intro, warm up, and we have the outro, the conclusion, the finishing point. Okay, not this one, but yeah, okay, that one. So I wanted to make it symmetric. We have the intro, warm up, and now we have the running videos, right? I'm gonna put in like a break in the middle, okay, to make it a bit less tiring and more pleasant. Featuring our dear friend John again. Then we have more running, but this time it's me alone by myself. So it's more scenery, then followed by the conclusion. Uh, so this video is actually symmetric. It has an intro as outro. It has a break in the middle, and surrounded by a running video and a scenery video. Yeah. Then of course we have like the warm up in the in the middle here. Yeah. And that allows us to fill up all 30 seconds without too much boredom. Each of these clips, like this one for example, is only 6 seconds. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, and it's all closely matched up the beats. It works quite well. Let's talk about this section here. This section here is where we have all our runners running. Fortunate that I'm quite fortunate that this video, for this particular run, I captured a lot of faces. So I thought of just putting everything into a grid to feature more faces. The way that this grid works, how did I get the grid? I got it from LenoFX. LenoFX Reels, there is a grid feature here. Okay, it's probably up there. Grid. Yeah, there you go, grid. Grid is pretty extreme. It has got lots and lots of videos. Was it 7 or 8? Yeah, let me show you. When I click on grid, you can see that these are the parameters. There's a drop zone 1 all the way to drop zone 7. So you could see 7 videos. But then, of course, some of the stuff will not be fully visible. Like, for example, drop zone 1 will disappear quite fast. So we probably don't want to put important content in there. And then drop zone 7 will appear quite late and it'll probably be half chopped off. That's why I put in the interesting running contents into drop zones 3, 4, and 5. I just simply went in here and selected my clips, and then just drag and drop them into my grid. But notice that what clips did I use? I didn't use the original clips. I had to wrap them. See that I'm using run 1, 2, and 3. Well, run 1, 2, and 3 is here. These are compound clips. Why did I use a compound clip? Well, I didn't want to start the clip right at the beginning. I wanted to take only a later part of the video. What I did was that I had to drag a piece of the video here, the right piece I want. Then I chose right click, new compound clip, and that's how I created, run 1, 2, 3, and so on, right? Yeah, so that's the hack I use. I couldn't select exactly which point of the video to start for these clips here. But what I did was that I created compound clips, and then I dragged the compound clips into these slots here. That's how I managed to start the videos at these precise points by using compound clips. So I started by populating drop zone 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Then I went back and finished 6 and 7, and drop zone 1 and 2, and followed by drop zone 7. Right, and that's how we managed to get this. And of course, we had to set the panning and X and the panning of Y to make sure that we focus our runners right in the center of the frame. Right, although sometimes it goes a bit off. Yeah. Oh, the other challenge I had with this Leno FX, the templates for multiple set videos, is that I couldn't do animation. For lots of my videos, I do a panning and animate it. So I pan at the left, starting at the left, and then slowly I pan to the right and so on. But there doesn't seem to be a keyframe feature. Yeah, there isn't a keyframe feature that I could use to set the panning. So I have to make sure that everything is properly centered. Sometimes they go off center. Like for example, if you look at this video here, you can see that some parts of the video are going off centered. Yeah, so some parts of the video are not precisely aligned. Like for example, our friend Wei Shen here is he was on the right, but then later on in the video, became in the center. Then after that, he kind of drifted all the way to the left. If I had animation keyframes, I would do a panning and keep him in the center. That would be nice. But that's all that we have right now. So I have to choose a section of a clip where I don't need to do so much panning to make sure that our people stay in the center as much as possible. Yeah, you can also see that this clip here is drifting from right to left. Yeah, but that's the best we can do, right? Moving on, the next clip is of John running into the Lower Pierce Reservoir. He was going there to take a photo. So over here, I use again the animation. This is a 360-degree clip. I didn't have to use the Leno FX plugin. That's why I'm able to do the adjustment myself. The things I adjusted are the the panning. So I was panning at John, then later I panned towards the reservoir. I also did a tilt. I wanted to show, his entire body at the beginning of the video, but then I had to tilt the video so that so that it will skew my hand, right? And we want to center the reservoir in the center of the video. Yeah, it turned out quite okay. So this is nice. We have again a 3D title on top. This is coming from the um, Leno FX 3D title. So if you look at our titles here, there is a Leno FX 50 isometric titles, and I chose the same one, title 7, right? This is the one I used to create this title here, right? Then the next part, after the reservoir, we did some scenery shots. Again, I used the grid. I populated the grid with 7 of the video clips of me running by myself. This is pretty straightforward. I just took 7 clips, just drag and drop, because it doesn't really matter where we start. It's just running, right? I did some panning to make sure that the roads are precisely in the center, and I moved the Y pan values a bit down so I can see more of the sky, right? So that it looks nicer, because showing the running path right in the middle of the video is not so nice. That was the grid, and finally we end with the runners at our finishing point. This is just the sped up video. So if you look at the speed settings, it's been the speed has been set to 150%. That means we increase it by 50%, and we use the best machine learning video quality so that it looks nicer. Okay, and that was it. This was a very quick video that we did. We had lots of help with the Leno FX titles and the Leno FX reuse formatting, the templates. They're really nice in creating this kind of a stacking effect very quickly. I wouldn't have to go and drag and drop every single one of them. I wouldn't have to do a lot of positioning and arranging them. They also have the 3-way stacking version, which is quite nice. Oh, the other thing that I did using the feature is that notice there's a built-in and built-out. So built-in and built-out tells you whether you want to transition as you enter the frame, and whether you want to transition as exits the frame. You see the settings are different. For this particular title, I use built-in but not built-out. So meaning that you can see that there's a nice zooming in effect, but there is no zooming out. And then immediately we cut to the second split screen, which doesn't do any building. There is no the second split screen has no built-in, has no built-out, right? But the titles, of course, all of them have built-in and built-out, because they do this nice swooshing in and then nice squeezing out. So that's why the built-in and built-out is all there, right? Okay, that's it. Yep. So this is the first video of our Bishan-Lower Pierce run that I published to Instagram and also to YouTube and also to TikTok and to RedNote. I'll be working on the next part of the video for the Bishan-Lower Pierce run. I'll keep you updated. You'll find the link in the video description. Thank you.